We are going to review for final exam today.
So one of the questions will ask you to write an equation of line and given 2 points. The 2 points are 4, -5 and 3, 7. They want your answer in slope-intercept form. If you are looking the formula, it's been a while, right? This is slope-intercept, and this is slope formula, and this one is point slope. So you're going to need both of these because you need to find the slope first and then use the point slope formula, okay? So we need to find slope because given point, most of the time we use point slope formula, right? So we have y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1. So for this formula, we need to plug in 1 point, which we have plenty of points, right? But we also need to plug in the slope. So because of that, we need to find slope first. So the slope formula say m equal to y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, right? So using those 2 points, you can have your, if I call this x1, then this would be y1, this would be x2, y2. Can you go ahead and plug that in to find the slope for me, please? So what do we have here? 7 minus -5 and 3 minus 4. So on top you have 7 plus 5, which is 12. At the bottom you have is -1. So together we have slope equal to -12. So we can use that and plug into the point slope formula. Which point do you like? Pick one. I like 3 and 7 also because there's no negative to deal with. But either point would be fine. If you plug it in, the answer should be the same, okay? So we have y minus 7. M is good. X minus 3. Okay, next we're going to do what? Distribute. So we got -12x and +36. The other side remain the same. Last step, add 7 both sides. So y equal to
42x, -12x.
Okay, -12x plus 43. Do you agree? Okay. Any question for this? So if given 2 points, you need the slope, and then you plug into the point slope formula. Everybody okay? All right. So you may have a question like this. And then some of the questions is going to ask you to look at the picture and answer some questions. Okay, maybe try this picture. Are we ready? Try to check everybody. Okay, so try to zoom in real big. Okay, if you're looking at this picture on top, can you find me the domain and range? We kind of reviewed it last week. Domain is going to be your possible what? X values, okay? So domain is possible x, so it's going what direction to what direction? Left to right. The smallest x value is, can you tell?
-3.
Yeah, 1 to -3 come with what? Why is it parentheses? Very good. And then go all the way to Infinitive always come with parentheses. So if it doesn't have an arrow, then it would be a number, and then that number will come with what? Brackets if it's a closed dot. Okay. How about range? Range is for possible y values. So y is going what direction? Up and down. The smallest y value, can we tell? 1, 2, 3, 4. -4 come with?
Oh, wait, no, bracket.
Okay, brackets, because it's not an open circle, right? And then go all the way up to infinitive, always come with parentheses. So using the same graph, can you find me maybe relative maximum point and relative minimum point? So maximum point, do we have one? Okay, why don't we have a maximum? Maximum has to be what? Go up and down. Very good. So not all the graph have it, right? So we don't have it, so we say none. How about minimum? Okay, what is that point? X is 0, and then y is? -4. Perfect. Okay, will you be able to write the interval that is increasing, decreasing, and constant? Increasing, decreasing, constant. Okay? Increasing, we have what? X equal to 0 to infinity. So we are looking from the direction what to what? Left to right in terms of x or y? In terms of x, and all three of these will use parentheses, okay? So increasing, we start from 0 to infinity, you say? Close them with parentheses. Okay, decreasing? -3 to 0, close them with parentheses. We use parentheses because they share some of the points, okay? And then constant? It doesn't have any, right? So constant is flat, they don't have it. So it's like that. Are we okay with this? All right, pretty good. Let's review one question with the transformations. Are we ready? Okay, so anybody have like many final exam on Monday? No, that's it. Okay, just this one. Good. I'm glad. I feel so special. Okay, so transformation questions. So they are going to give you a graph, and they will call this f of x. We're gonna have to draw it. Okay, 1 and 2 here have a point, and then 1 here have a point, and then 2 here and 1 have a point. So the graph kind of look like this. Okay, so this is given graph, and we call that f of x. And we want you to graph g of x, graph, what is it? F of x plus 1 minus a 2. So we will ask you y in words, how is it moving, and then also graph the actual graph. They put questions like this because they don't want you to put it in the calculator. So what's happening here? So for this type of transformation, we need to follow the order of operations. So which part should we look at first? Parentheses, and this means what? Changing the x, very good. So to change the x, we need to solve for x. So x equal to, good, x plus 1 equal to 0, x equal to -1. That means we are going to what direction? Left 1. So that's one part. How about the outside -2? That's your y value. Y equal to -2 means we are going, good. There are two ways to approach this. You can list every single point and then subtract 1 from the x values and then subtract 2 for the y value for this particular one, or you can just move it if it's easy to move. So this means I need to go left 1 unit, right, for this point, and then go down 1 and 2 units to go here. Is it okay? Okay, and then for the second point is here, right? We go left 1 unit and go down 1 and 2 units to get the second point. Is it still okay? And then the last point, we go left 1 unit and go down 1 and 2 units. So the whole picture move to the left 1 unit and go down 2 units to get this one as my new one. And if you think this is hard to keep up with, what you can do is you list like this point is what? The first point is 0, 2, and the second point is what? Here. X is 1, 0. You guys are good today. It took me a while to figure out what this point is. And then the last point is 2 and 1. So this means all the x need to do what? Subtract 1, so it means become what? Negative 1 here. The second one is 0. The last one is 2 minus 1, 1, okay? So, and then the y value, all of them need to subtract 2. Then I have what? 0, negative 2. Did I do this right? Okay, the last point is supposed to be 2 and 1, sorry. So 1 and minus 2 is negative 1. So double check if that's correct. Negative 1, 0. This is 0 and negative 2. This is 1 and negative 1. So two ways to approach this. If you don't want to list all the points, I think I will make more mistakes if I list the points. So like up to you, but show some step and you'll be okay. They will ask you how you move it, so you will have to tell me this, and then you need to have the new graph. Questions? So this is one type of transformation. Let's do another one without graphing, see if we can do it. So if I have another question that I don't want you to graph it, but I say given my f of x equal to absolute value of x, how does absolute value of x look like? A v. I want you to tell me how you're going to move the graph if it's a g of x. And then it's going to be negative 3 absolute value of x. So what's happening here? So we're focusing on this now. Okay. So what does this negative 3 mean? You will flip it, okay, the negative, and then the 3 will do what? You're multiplying. Is it changing the x or y? Is it inside with x? No. So basically mean like all my y value need to multiply to become negative y, and all the y value also become 3 times y, right? So we want to think about what it does to the graph. If you have regular y value, then positive y is on top, right? If you flip it to negative y, it's at the bottom, right? So we are reflecting over what? The x-axis. So I can say this is going to reflect over x-axis. So, and if you think about a graph and the y value goes 3 times as fast, it makes the graph a lot taller, right? So if there's a graph and you make y 3 times as fast, that would be like a lot taller. You're stretching it vertically, basically. So, and vertically stretching y value 3 times. Is it okay? So we just want to review this a little bit, show you all the possible transformation that we may have. Sorry. Are we okay with this? Okay. So that's transformation. A long time ago we did a questions for piecewise functions. So let's show you an example. Okay, so if I say the question said $27 get you 500 minutes per month, and the additional minutes is going to be 10 cents per minute. We want you to be able to write a piecewise function. And we want that to be, f of x to represent the cost, and then x represent minutes, and then we want to know how much it's going to cost you to call 20 minutes, and then how much it's going to cost you to call 540 minutes. Okay? Okay, first, normally it's going to cost you how much? 27, and we use what to represent the cost? F of x, the y value, right? So f of x will equal to $27 if what? If you call 500 minutes exactly? Or less than that. So how do I write that?
500, or if x is less than or equal to.
Less than equal to 500 minutes, right? Everybody okay? So what if I call more than 500? If x is greater than 500 minutes, then what will happen? Do you still pay that $27 first?
No, it's 20, yes, 27 plus,
27 first, and then?
plus,
Plus the 10 cents.
plus 10.
Okay, how do I write 10 cents?
Plus 10x.
0 point.
Or point 10.
Say it again.
Point.
0.10 is in the dollar of 10 cents, right? And then I need to multiply to the additional minutes. And how do I calculate that? So think about if I call 600 minutes, how do you calculate the additional minutes?
500 minus
X.
x minus 500.
The big number x will do what? Subtract the 500 minutes you already paid for, right? Is it okay? Alright, so that's the piecewise function. So if B, you only call 20 minutes, how much are you paying? Just the 27 minutes that you, $27 that you agree on. And then if you call 540 minutes, do you pay 27 first? Yes. And then add the, just add 40 minutes here. 10 cents times
40.
the 40 minutes is the additional, right? So if you're not sure, you can subtract 540 minus 500, but you look at it and you know that's 40 minutes, right? $27 plus 0.10 times 40 is $4, plus your 27 is $31. Is that okay for everybody? You got it? Okay, good. Alright, next we're going to do something we haven't done for a while, and probably will ask you to do one before you go today. Let's see. The next question say, given some function f of x equal to 6x plus 11, g of x equal to 8x, and h of x equal to square root of 4x. Okay? So for these three functions given to you, they want you to find A, f of g of x, and B, g of h of 9. So be very careful because there are 3 functions. Make sure you pick the correct one they ask for, okay? Okay, how do we do the top one?
Yeah, so
Into G.
Like.
And basing on which function?
Yeah.
Okay, based on your f and plug in g. Good job. So this is the plug-in part, right? The second part. So g is the same as what? 8x. So if I use my f as my base function, 6 times something plus 11, right? And then I need to plug in 8x. So now we have 48x plus 11. Is that okay? Remember something like that? It's been a while. Okay, how about g plug in h of what? You use g as your base and plug in what? H of 9, right? Can we see that? Because this is the second part. So we don't know h of 9 yet, but can we find out? Okay, so let's go ahead and try to find h of 9. So this is the h function. Plug in a 9 when you see x. 4 times 9 is 36. Well, 36 is 6. So it means h of 9 is 6, right? And then we can use that to plug it back here. Is it okay? It's just a lot of plugging in, so just have to keep up with it. So g of what now? 6 here. So my g function say what? 8 times something. So it's going to be 8 times 6, like you say, which will give me 48. So this is not super complicated, but you have to be careful and pick the correct function and plug it in correctly. This is one of the shorter questions, I think. So I'm going to give you one before you go today. Make sure you have a little bit practice. All right, the next one we have been doing it many times. So hopefully by now you are pretty good at it. Is the one finding the inverse function. That we have f of x equal to 14x minus 5 and then x plus 3. Okay, so anybody remember the steps? F of x need to turn into y and then swap x and y. Solve for y. Y we place to the inverse of function. Good job. So we're going to follow this step for this guy. First step, we need to change the f of x to y. And I would encourage you to do it step by step so I can give you partial credit, okay? And then next we are going to switch it x and y. So we start with x, and this over here equal to 14 y minus 5 and then y plus 3. I heard so far. Everybody okay? All right. Next, we need to solve for y, but how? Multiply both sides with y plus 3, so we can get rid of the denominator, right? We multiply this common denominator to both sides so we can get rid of the denominator. On the left hand side, we have what? Okay. y plus 3 times x, I heard, equal to 14y minus 5. And then, not yet. Distribute first. Okay, so xy plus 3x equal to 14y minus 5. Okay, so now we need to solve for y. How? Okay, so all terms with y to one side. Okay, so I can leave this guy on this side, right? xy. And then move the 14y move to the other side, become negative 14y. Everybody's okay? Equal to, so the minus 5 can stay, right? And then the 3x go to the other side, become negative 3x. Very good. And then now we do what? Factor the y out. So now is the time to factor y. So we factor the y, prove the y out, then inside we still have x minus 14. Do we agree? Okay, equal to the other side, we have negative 3x minus 5. To solve for y, I'm going to need to divide both sides with x minus 14, both sides. Cancel that, so y equal to that.
And then change y back to, or the inverse.
Yeah, so finally we replace the y with the inverse of a function, right? And then we have negative 3x minus 5, x minus 14. So depending on which side you move the y to, your final answer may look slightly different. It could look like that, with the 3x plus 5, but 14 minus x. So they are the same answer, and I will be able to tell. So you don't have to worry about it. If you do all the steps correctly, I will be able to tell, even though they look a little bit different. Okay? All right. Next question. We also haven't done that for a while. I probably will ask you to do one before you go today. Is finding the average rate of change. So finding average rate of change for this function, which is 3x squared minus 5x, I need to go from x1 is 1 and x2 is 5. So anybody remember what is the average rate of change function, formula? It's the same as another formula that a lot of people remember. Slope formula. Good job. Somebody is studying. So, very proud of you. How does this slope formula go? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The only difference is we're going to replace the y with f of x. So it would be f of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1, right? And they already told you what is x1 and x2. So we can just plug it in, right? That would equal to f of 5 minus f of 1 over 5 minus 1. Everybody okay? So I need to know what is f of 5 and f of 1. So can you plug it in and find out f of 5, f of 1? What did you got on the first one?
50.
50? Anybody agree?
Yes.
Good. 25 here minus a 25 here. times 25 is 75, minus 25 is 50, okay? And then f of 1?
-2.
-2. Do we agree? Okay. So just be careful with the order of operation, okay? So that was the 1 here. So 3 minus 5 is -2. So once we get those two numbers, what do we do? Plug it back into what we have earlier. So on top we have
50 minus -2, which
minus
is
a
positive.
-2, okay? And the bottom we have 5 minus 1 is 4. On top we have 50 plus 2. So it's 52 divided by 4. We get 13. So this is the average rate of change, meaning maybe like if you step on the accelerator between 1 second to 5 seconds, it's going up 13 miles per second. So it's a rate of change. Can we do something like that? Okay, good. Questions. So the other question we haven't done for a while is the sequences. So if I say the starting salary is $36,000 a year, and then you have two job offer. The first one, they say the yearly pay raise is $1,500 per year. And the second offer is you get 4% pay raise per year. Okay, so we want to find the salary when it's year 30. Okay, so what kind of sequences are those? The first one, what's happening? Every year you're gonna get 1,500 more, so you're adding it, right? So what kind of sequence do we call those? Arithmetic sequence. And the second one, your salary is 4% bigger than the previous year, right? So that would be, It's not adding anymore. The second one would be
36,000 times that
multiply. So we call those sequence geometric. So in the past, we do 1 year at a time and then try to come up with the formula, right? On the final exam, they actually give you the formula. Can you tell which one is the arithmetic, which one is geometric?
Arithmetic would be the 8 and
The top one or the bottom one? The top one adding the difference each time will be the arithmetic, and the second one is multiplying, right? So it's like geometric. Like you're welcome to do 1 year at a time, but like the formula is given to you, so you can also utilize it if you want to. So the first one say the n year will be the first year plus the difference times n minus 1, because we need to subtract 1 year because the first year you don't get a pay raise, right? And the second formula say the n year is going to be the first year multiply the rates raised to the power of n minus 1. Is subtract 1 again because, again, the first year they don't get a pay raise, right? So what is the first year? 36,000. The difference each year is going to be $1,500. How many year of pay raise he's going to have? 30 year subtract 1 year, 29 years, right? So if you use the calculator, the 1,500 times 29 will get you what? $43,500. And then together you have
79,500.
okay, so after 30 years it looked pretty good. Take a while. How about the geometric? 30 years. The first year is 36,000. The rate is, be careful. Good job. You guys have been studying. So it's not just 4%, right? So every year you get your 100% and then 4% more, right? So you're multiplying 104% and you already change it to decimal, which is what? 1.04. Okay. If it's 0.04, you're gonna not be able to leave off that. So it's going to multiply the rate, which is 104% in decimal is 1.04. And how many year of pay raise do you have? 29, because it's 30 years subtract the first year, right? So we got 36,000 times 1.04 raised to the 29 power. So this one definitely you have to use the calculator. If you want to borrow one, you can. I'm going to show you on the projector also. So let's do it on this side. That's not helping. Okay, so I have 1.04 raised to 29. So it's going to be a non-terminating decimal number. I will keep that in the calculator and multiply to 36,000. So what do I get? Can you know? What? 112,000. 27, 200, no, what? $271.45. So after 30 years, the 4% is actually like make the salary a lot bigger, right? As you can see. But if you just do 2 years, the second year, 4% of 36,000 is what? So 4% is just 1,440. So if you're planning only stay 2 years, probably the first one is better. But probably starting like the third year, this one will be bigger with the 4%, okay? So we want you to have some idea how this works. Question on this? All right. Let's see. Okay, we will go in just a little bit for the exam 2 material. So everything we did so far is from the exam 1 material. So exam 2, some of the concepts you need to know, including if you have a function, the highest power is the second power, such as f of x equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, or f of x equal to ax plus h perfect square minus, x minus h, sorry, perfect square plus k. I was like, I write and it doesn't look right to me. So one is your general form, one is your standard form, right? Okay, so if you have those and the highest power is square, what do we call those kind of function? This is your, what function is that? Quadratic, and then it's going to look like what? A parabola. So there are 2 types. If the leading coefficient is positive, then it's going to be a open up parabola, because positive people usually smiley. So it's like a smiley face parabola. If you have the leading coefficient a is negative, then your parabola is going to be open down, because Negative people is usually set. How do we find vertex? If they give you the general form, your vertex is going to be, okay, the standard form is H and K.
It would be negative B.
Yes, it's similar to the quadratic formula, and it's also on the formula sheets if you can recognize it. Once you find the x value, how do you find the y value? Plug it in. Like on the formula, it says this. F of negative b over 2a just means plugging in the x value, okay? All right, so, and we also have the axis of symmetry. So, it means the invisible vertical line going through the middle of the vertex. The middle of the parabola going through vertex. So how do I write the axis of symmetry? Is it given to the general form? X equal to negative b over 2a. So the x value, right? And it has to be x equal to a number because it's a vertical line. So for this one, it would be x equal to h. Okay. And the other thing, this is from 3.1. So from 3.2, we talk about AND behavior. So if you have even leading power, such as y equal to x squared, y equal to negative x squared, then the AND behavior would be what? The first one would be both sides up. If you have even leading with a is negative, you have both sides down, just like the parabola, right? So you can use the parabola to help you to remember this. So if it's x to the 4, x to the 6, it's still going to be the same type of AND behavior. How about if it's odd leading power? Okay, 1 second. So if we have x cubed or y equal to negative x cubed, then the first one would be? Okay, that's right. And then the next one would be? Say one more time. Left side up. Okay, right side down. Okay, got it. You're correct. So this applies to everything with the odd leading power. So it can be the 5th power, the 7th power, something like that. And we also want to know how to find the maximum turn. How do we find that? Say it again.
Isn't the coefficient -1?
I'm surprised you guys forgot that one. Okay, maximum turn. So for the square, how many turns do we have? 1 turn. And like that, for the cube, how many turns do we have? 2 turns. So what are we using to find that? The exponents need to subtract 1. So it's going to be 1 less than the leading power. Is that okay? Or they call it n minus 1, but we need to know what is n, right? The last piece of information for 3.2 is when do we cause or touch the x-intercept? Causing and touching x-intercept, if we have a function that is x squared times x minus 2 times x plus 5 to the 3rd power. First of all, can you tell what degree is that? What? Is it 5th or 6th? Okay, so this one have a 2, right? This one is 1 and this one is 3. So 2 plus 1 plus 3 is 6, right? So degree 6. So that's even or odd. Even leading power, the A is going to be positive or negative? Positive, because it's positive times another positive times another positive, right? So if it's degree 6, A equal to positive, the graph is going to be both sides up. And how many turns? 5 turns. So the turn is going to be 6 minus 1 equal to 5, right? I'm not going to draw it. It's too many turns. Okay, so, but this x value, the first x is going to be x equal to
2. Oh,
solve for x equal to,
2.
oh, you mean this one? X equal to 2? Okay. Okay, how about this one? X equal to,
-5.
but this one is x equal to 0. Okay, so are they causing or touching? First one is touching because even power 0 come with the 2, right? And the last two are going to be causing because they have odd power 0. Remember something like that? It's been like a while, so, and that's kind of the difficult stuff, so you may have to review that a little bit more for the end behavior. You kind of want to do one more because the other class did one more. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm recording your class. This class is usually the calmest one. I like to record here, and sometimes we can make the video work, sometimes we cannot. Okay, so the last one asks you to find vertex, and then x-intercept, and then y-intercept, and then we're going to graph it, okay? So a little bit intense. This is one of the difficult one. The function is x squared minus 8x minus 20. So to find vertex, we just talk about it. We use what? Negative b over 2a for x value, and then plug it in, right? So the x would be negative b over 2a. We have a equal to 1, b equal to, c equal to, good job. Okay, so negative b is going to be negative times negative 8, and 2 times a is 1. So this is a positive 8 over 2, which will give me 4. That's the x value. So to find the y value, we are going to plug it into the function. So f of 4 equal to something square minus 8 times something minus 20, and plug in the 4, right? And then we have negative 36. Good job. So the vertex, we got x is 4, y is negative 36. So that's the first piece of information. And then I need to find x and y intercept. So x-intercept, we will set y equal to 0. We got x squared minus 8x minus 20 equal to 0. How do we solve that? AC method. And can we do shortcut for this particular one?
Yes.
It would be what two number multiplied to 20?
10 and 2.
Wow. How can you do it so quickly? And then add together is negative 8. So you say 10 and 20? I mean 10 and 2 to make a 20?
Would it be 10 and negative?
Yeah, 10 would be negative because
Negative 10
yeah.
plus the 2 is negative 8. Negative 10 times the 2 is negative 20. Agree? So it means like we need the negative 10 and 2, positive 2 here, double check, x squared, negative 20, outside 2x, inside subtract 10x is negative 8x. Okay, that looks like it's going to work. So x equal to,
Positive 10 and negative 2.
okay, so those are my x-intercepts. X-intercept y equal to 0. And then how about y-intercept? Set x equal to 0. Wow, you guys are so fast. I cannot even write that down yet. Sorry, I got lost. So 0 squared minus 8 times 0 minus 20, and somebody already know this is going to be?
Y equals 20. Or
Negative 20. Okay. So the point is going to be x is 0, y is negative 20, right? So using those information, we can probably graph it. So we will plug those points in. We have x equal to negative 2, y x equal to positive 10, and then y equal to what? Negative 20 down here, and we also have a vertex of 4 and negative 36. Okay, and this is a x to the second power function with a is positive, right? So it's going to look like what? Both sides up and a positive. So this is second power. How many terms? Just one term, regular parabola, right? So I'm going to connect all these points that we plug there and form an open up parabola. Are we okay with that? So sorry, this is a little bit fast because I want you to have a chance to practice 2 questions. So when you come back on Wednesday, we will continue with this practice for all final exam questions. Hopefully that will help you. That is my sincere help. Okay, all right. When you're ready, I want you to try 2 short questions, and when you're done, you can show me the answer. We check you off and record it for your daily grade. We're still working on it. So the first one, we will give you 3 functions, and then you need to find me f of g of x and g of h of 3. The second question is finding the average rate of change. We have the function here, starting from x1 to x2, and this is the function. Some people said they couldn't see it very well yesterday. So if you have the answer, show it.